Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah scored the goals as Arne Slot's reign as Liverpool head coach began with a hard-fought victory over newly promoted Ipswich Town at a boisterous Portman Road. Portuguese forward Jota finished off a flowing Liverpool move involving Salah and the impressive Trent Alexander-Arnold shortly after the hour mark, side-footing the Egyptians' low cross past Ipswich goalkeeper Christian Walton. And it was 2-0 just 5 minutes later, Salah scoring from Dominic Soboslai's pass for his 9th opening day goal, a Premier League record. Playing their first top-flight game in 22 years, Ipswich were more than a match for Slot's team in the first half and went closest to opening the scoring before halftime, first through Jacob Greaves' downward header and then Omar Hutchinson's low drive. But Liverpool were much improved after the restart and should have taken the lead when Jota nodded Alexander-Arnold's inch-perfect cross narrowly wide of the far post early in the second half. The 27-year-old made amends for that miss moments later, before Salah put the seal on a narrow win and condemned Ipswich to their first home defeat in nearly 12 months. Former Feyenoord boss Slot has enormous shoes to fill at Liverpool after Jurgen Klopp's excellent 9-year spell in charge, but Saturday's win, coming off the back of a strong pre-season, will raise hopes of a successful first season under the Dutchman. The Reds took a while to get going, however, with Alexander-Arnold's curling effort shortly before the break the closest they came to troubling Walton in the first half. Alexander-Arnold's strike was one of just 3 first-half attempts by Slot's team, equaling their lowest tally from the 2023-24 campaign. None were on target. But the visitors began the second period with far greater urgency and Salah had a goal-bound effort blocked by Greaves, before Luis Diaz blazed over after cutting on to his right foot from the left flank. Ipswich were suddenly struggling to get out of their own half and were given a let-off when Jota headed wide from Alexander-Arnold's cross, but Liverpool's pressure finally told when the forward converted Salah's pass. The Egyptian went from provider to goal-scorer not long afterwards, his close-range finish meaning he has scored in all but one of Liverpool's opening day fixtures since signing for the club. Kieran has turned Portman Road into a fortress during his time in charge, with Saturday's reverse only their second defeat in their past 40 home league games. The Tractor Boys, who fielded 7 players who started their final League One home game in 2022-23, showed plenty of promise in the early stages as Greaves and Hutchinson both tested a listen. However, they were perhaps fortunate to end the first half with a full complement of players after Wes Burns, already on a yellow card for an earlier challenge, appeared to bat the ball away with his arm in a coming together with Jota. McKenna will have been delighted with his team's display before the break, but the hosts were no match for their opponents after the restart as they struggled to repel wave after wave of Liverpool attacks. Sammy Smodics, who joined the club from Blackburn on Friday, came on for his Ipswich debut with 15 minutes remaining, but the Reds were already out of sight by that point. Calvin Phillips, meanwhile, was an unused substitute after completing a season-long loan move from champions Manchester City, Ipswich's opponents next weekend.